Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Dota commentary, and as I immediately fucking introduce this thing, my voice starts cracking like a bitch. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it. This is Navi versus Fnatic, Game 2 from the Raidcall Dota 2 League, and I heard this game is something else. Game 1 was a stomp. Navi picked up some weird Witch Doctor Spectre lineup and crushed Fnatic. So we're gonna have to see how Fnatic responds in Game 2, as they've been looking a bit better, but they're still very shaky. But with me is Shred Kid. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty well. Enjoying this peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So really, how can I not be good?
Seriously. Alright, we're gonna pause in 3, 2,
Oh shit,
1.
I already did. Okay, tell me when you're at 16 seconds.
Fucking SK, I swear to God, guys. Alright, but anyways, just a couple of things to talk about, just because I love feeling myself before I do every commentary. Alright, I'm at 16 seconds. Tell me when you're ready to unpause in 3,
I'm ready.
2, 1, unpause. But yeah, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a slight rant because, again, I love feeling myself. If it sounds like I have a dick down my throat, well, I had an almost the next best thing, which is a pipe down my throat because I had surgery yesterday, but I can still cast, and that was the thing that made me question if I would be able to cast, but can't keep b-balling down for too long. Where's your pain at, SK? I question you. Where's your devotion? Where's your blood sacrifice?
I haven't got that hashtag hard work, hashtag dedication that you do.
Man, hashtag YOLO 322.
Oh god, no more 322 jokes. It's over. We did it. That's it. One per cast.
Anyways, Navi versus Fnatic. Fnatic are boot camping in Serbia. They looked okay for the most part. I mean, they went 2-1 to the group stage summer, but because time rating is such a good system, they were knocked out in the first group stage match, or in the group stages. But overall, they're looking a bit better. They were definitely one of the shakier teams since Fly is on this Jerusalem-based military training thing. So now they're fine being able to boot camp. They're definitely one of the weaker teams in TI3 at the moment. But actually, maybe not, since IG is just playing abysmally. Meanwhile, Navi, they got eliminated in the quarterfinals of DreamHack Summer. They've been looking very good online, but that LAN, they made a lot of bad decisions versus Dignitas. I think that was the biggest downfall. Yeah, Dignitas played well, but now he just made a whole lot of bad decisions. They're going to go right to China, so maybe they can hope to gain some momentum before going into China and then try to take the Chinese by storm.
Yeah, I mean, I think Navi's obviously a very solid pick for everybody, but I'm going to be honest, I think Fnatic is my dark horse pick to place really highly at TI3, just because their playstyle is really weird. I don't know how else to say it. It's just weird. And, I mean, all the Western teams are used to it, but the Eastern teams aren't. And I think, you know, they might just surprise people by not being like any other team. Like, every other team everybody sort of has on wraps. I don't think anybody plays close to Fnatic at all. And, wow, Tramp Protector. I'm excited for this game already.
I can sense the enjoyment in your voice already, as Fnatic will open with the tree choice. Now you're going to pick up the Gyrocopter for Lavost as usual, and we're going to see how they're fortifying it. Fnatic banned out a mid-solo Puck as well as an offlane Darkseer. Meanwhile, now you banned out the standard first pick bans, supposedly. Well, not supposedly, they are the standard first pick bans these days. So we're going to have to see how Navi responds with this second choice. Actually, one of the best ways to defeat Trian is actually take it to him the early game, so we'll see if Navi just has to do that, but I've never seen them aggressively try with the Gyrocopter. They like to really safe lane it. So if you let Trian get a lot of room, he can potentially own you in the early stages of the mid game, but if you crush him in the early game, Trian Protector is the hero, just cannot come back. So yes, he's really, really stupid, but I don't think he's overpowered to the point where he needs a lot of nerfs. Maybe just a couple tweaks.
It's neither here nor there, but I think he needs a complete rework and needs to be taken out of Captain's mode before he is reworked. I don't think he should be in the pool for TI3, but one of the best ways to deal with him is Gyrocopter, because you have to burn through Leech Seed. And one of the best ways to do that is, I mean, dots are pretty solid, but some dots don't even tick that fast. Like Queen of Pain dot isn't good. Axe dot's okay, but Gyro is, I think, like 30 pieces of damage in like 3 seconds or something. So that shield is gone. It doesn't even exist. But you need, I also would like if they had a Darkseer, but they don't, but oh well. Rubik's great because you can seal it for yourself once you hit 6, and although it's not quite as good as having it as from like rank 1 winning all your lanes for you, it's still pretty solid. So I think that's, you know, probably the best response, because now you only have 2 picks. Yeah, I think that might be the best response you can do.
Rubik's just going to have a field day this game. Shikuchi and Living Armor. Like, I don't know why Fnatic picked up Weaver right after Rubik. Maybe they like him against Gyrocopter, but now Rubik can steal, like, probably some of the best non-ultimate spells in the game, and they have such short cooldowns that they can be spammed repeatedly over and over, and they have such short mana costs And I guess the biggest thing about those spells is that they're not really offensive, but still, they're pretty ridiculous spells. So I'm not too sure why Fnatic picked up Weaver right after the Rubik choice by Navi, but they made their bed. We'll see if they have to lie in it, as Navi getting out the Crystal Main, a very aggressive support, and Treant, he wants that early game protection, and once he gets the early game protection, he can really start steamrolling enemy teams. But yeah, back to the Treant choice. I actually saw Liquid run a Visage Juggernaut something tri-lane, and he just completely rolled over Treant tri-lane. So you have to either go all out offensive, or you just have to survive, and it seems like Navi going to do the latter. They're going to try to survive the early game onslaught of Treant.
I don't think if you're defensive tri-laning, surviving it usually works. Like, unless you have that Juggernaut or something, but then you're defensive tri-laning a Juggernaut, and then you got other problems. But for the most part, he's a hero that you have to build an entire lineup around beating. And I don't think that those heroes should... Like, you could beat Old Lycan, right? Like, you could. It just took an entire lineup to do it. So, I don't know. I want to say the CM was banned out because she's a really, really powerful combo with Treant, because she stands in the back, Treant stands in the front because he's ultra tanky. They both give each other mana and healing, and just one rank in ore is enough to spam that thing forever. Living armor. So they're a really strong support combo that you don't really think of. The Chen makes sense, right? Bounty Hunter, I guess they got Invis. I don't know. I think Tree's good against Bounty. And for Naga Siren, you know, I can't quite think of it yet, but I guess the minus armor works really well together. If they wanted to run her, they could farm her, or they could run her as a support.
When you time-lapse, you're still stuck in the net animation, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you're still stuck in the net, so... Well, actually, that was Navi's ban, so scratch that. Maybe they just don't like the teamfight setup that Fnatic could potentially roll on them, as they do have a Gyrocopter who's, I mean, squishy in the early stages of the game, but he always gets enough farm, and Vost has played a pretty solid Gyrocopter for the most part. But yeah,
he's only played Gyrocopter.
Pretty much.
As I know. I mean, Navi first picks his hero every game, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a Vost-heavy hero because he does a lot of damage early game, he does a lot of damage late game, so, I mean, why not pick it up for a Vost every single game when you can ever get your hands on him?
It's, you know, a friend was describing it to me, it's kind of like the CK that doesn't fall off late game. And
yeah,
just in that you fight really early and you're really strong and you keep fighting and then all of a sudden you have stuff. So, what does Navi need right now? They are going to need probably... Well, they need a mid, an offlane, and another support. But I'm guessing the mid is going to be some sort of utility mid, and the offlane is going to be like another utility. I think they'll just go for 2 utility heroes. I don't know.
I also failed to mention that Quantic ran the Treant Weaver combination. It's probably one of the most annoying things in Dota, because Weaver can just dive at level 1 and you can't touch him. And Weaver can dive throughout the majority of the game. It's so... I mean, that combination, I guess that's why Fnatic picked up in such high priority, as that combination is really, really powerful at pretty much all portions of mid-game, and by the time Weaver gets to late game, he has enough innate survivability where he can withstand the barrage. So Weaver, I mean, he can do a lot of work this game, but once Rubik does hit level 6, he will have to, you know, be annoyed because Rubik will steal Shikuchi, but yeah, Living Arm plus Weaver is such an annoying combination. As Navi gonna pick up the Nyx Assassin, so they have their support
I know why
back
they did
line.
this. Picking an Obsidian Destroyer with Tram Protector, Godblack does this a lot. I don't think a team's figured out how to beat it yet, just because Obsidian Destroyer is the strongest mid laner, bar none. And if you give him that living armor, there's nothing you can do to stop him, and he doesn't even have to get a bottle. So I think that they picked up the Nyx just for the mana burn late game, so the Obsidian Destroyer won't completely roll over their entire team. And Fnatic is going to shy away from that, or at least not pick it up yet, and go for Jakiro. So, Fnatic's lanes are really, really open, whereas Navi is pretty much dedicated. Oh my god, okay.
Oh wow. Mind. We're going to see a Dendy Pudge, and I guess that's one way to mitigate Treant. You just eliminate from the battle by hooking him. As, I mean, one thing about Fnatic's lineup is that only Weaver's really mobile. Jakiro and Treant aren't really that mobile, and grabbing people out of position is definitely the best way to go about it, but picking up the Pudge, this is maybe a sign of Navi feeling a bit of confidence after stomping Fnatic in game 1. Maybe they just see Pudge just, you know, is really, really a good option in this case. I'm not too sure.
Rot beats Tram Protector's thing because it ticks really, really fast.
Yeah, I forgot about
Honestly, this is what I do to beat Tram Protectors in pubs when I don't want to deal with them. I wouldn't think that Navi would be doing it, but, you know, I'm not going to complain.
I mean, if you living armor the Pudge, then you can just rot freely for a couple of moments. As Fnatic going to pick up the Lifestealer.
It does tick really fast, like it just doesn't when you're rotting an armored target, it's like it's not even there.
No, that's true, because it is applied differently from Dota 2 than Dota 1. But Fnatic responding to the Pudge choice with the Lifesteal, and of course, Lifesteal does do very well against Pudge, because Pudge does not have big armor growth whatsoever, and he does do very well against Nick, so I think this Lifesteal choice is really, really smart by Fnatic. The only problem is, I guess, they don't really have that much early game presence, but still, you have Trient and Weaver. That's pretty much all you need. And this lineup by Fnatic actually scales reasonably well. I'm not too sure what Jakiro is doing in this lineup, but I guess he's sort of there to provide some long-range support. As Navi going to bounce the Nature's Prophet, recognizing that Fnatic, at this point, I mean, they could put Weaver in mid lane if they have to.
No, Weaver will definitely mid. It's not a have to. It's a you want that hero mid against Pudge. In Dota 1, back when, after the International, but when there's still Dota 1, I remember Navi's playing the Chinese teams. They pick Pudge, and I forget what team it was, but Super responds with a Weaver pick mid, and he just dominated Dendi. Like, Dendi got like 5 creeps at like 6 or 7 minutes. Because you can do that tower harassing thing. You know what it is, where you just don't take tower aggro. I'll explain it later if he does it. But Weaver just slams Pudge. It's one of the hardest matchups in the game, I think.
Well, I think one of the hardest matchups is probably, yeah, Weaver versus Pudge. I was going to say Weaver versus AA, because I just casted a game recently with Weaver versus AA.
Oh, yeah, that's
But at least AA has some range.
Yeah, I
so
mean,
can do some
AA can run away from that. Weaver can do the thing where it's like it really is stupid, but the tower essentially doesn't exist if you do it right. And then because he's a melee hero, like he will get harassed even more. So, what does Navi need right now? They need some offlaner, and it's gonna be Lich. Lich is a really solid offlaner. He's really, really fast. You usually want to put him against either 3 people or 1 person, not 2. But I'm pretty sure Fnatic's going to offensive tri-lane and put a Weaver mid, and then now they're going to pick up some safe lane semi-farmer, I think. Is what they... Yeah, I think they'll do that.
Yeah, and Fnatic, right now the Lich is a really solid choice because Fnatic have some experienced defend supports. I mean, level 1 living armor is not really that good. It's only when you get level 2 and level 3 where it becomes really powerful. So Tree definitely needs some experience. And overall, Fnatic's lineup doesn't really have that much range, so they're going to inevitably clump up and Chain Frost will hit them. And I think the slow from Chain Frost does go through magical immunity. Damage does not. I could be corrected. I could be completely mistaken. But I'm pretty sure that's how it is applied.
I'm not entirely sure. I know the damage doesn't, but I mean that's pretty, goes without saying. So yeah, Fnatic's got time, right? So they're obviously really thinking about it, and a Queen of Pain. So I bet it's gonna be, actually, Queen should go safe lane, I think. Yeah, that'll happen. They'll put Queen safe lane and Weaver mid. That's better for both matchups.
So some really interesting choices here. So why do you think Navi actually picked up the Pudge in this game? I know I talked about getting people out of position, but why would you pick up Pudge in this game over other heroes?
Why Navi drafts Pudge. In the past, it's always historically been because the enemy team is squishy and can't deal with it. So the hooks are great, right? Hooking people, getting kills. It's really flashy and nice to see. But usually the main point of a Dendi Pudge isn't for like the, oh my god, he hooked another one. It's just for the fact that the other team has a lot of clunky, squishy heroes that can't ever deal with getting on top of him. So he just turns on Rot and runs at them. Or if it's a hero like Queen of Pain, she can't ever blink on that team because Pudge will just turn on Rot and Chomp. Like, so when they drafted it, there was a Jakiro, a Treant, and a Weaver in the game. So the reason why they got it was Jakiro can't do anything to him. He can just run at the Treant or anyone the Treant armors. And the Weaver, if you trump the Weaver, he dies early game, although it's hard to do. So that's why I think they did it, and yeah.
Well, time to introduce the players and teams. So on the side of Fnatic, we're going to have the Captain Fly playing the Jakiro, No-Tail is playing the Treant Protector, Era is going to be playing the Lifestealer, Trixie is playing the Queen of Pain, and Hani is going to be taking care of the Weaver in the middle lane matchup. Meanwhile, on the side of Navi, we're going to have Puppy play an Assassin, and for once in his life, he's not pulling Dendi relentlessly. Well, he pulled him instead of Tango, so I guess one game can't go by where he doesn't pull him. Havos is playing his trademark Gyrocopter these days, Dendi is playing the Pudge, Kuroki is playing the Rubik, and Fnatic will be playing the Lich as Era already being limited armored, and they're going to scout the Lifestealer, who's a very, very safe choice to scout with since he has decent move speed, and if he really needs to, he can take Rage at level 1. But this presence by Fnatic is clearly indicating that they are going to indeed go for an aggressive challenge like you previously mentioned. And Fnatic just going to make it to the offlane, did not buy any sort of boots of speed, because now he probably recognizes, alright, I'm going to be up against Soul Hero, I might not even need boots of speed, so good decision making by both teams thus far, and we're going to have to see who gets the advantage. Who do you think is favored in the laning advantage? Fnatic?
It's tricky. Top lane's really, really volatile. Anything can happen. And actually, I think Na'Vi has a significant advantage in the top lane. Dendi should get slammed mid lane. If he gets more than 2 creeps a minute, it's because Weaver like gave it to him. And bot lane starts really heavily in Quap's advantage, but then it like goes really heavily, really fast to Lich's advantage.
Oh, Ice Path gonna open up on Kuroki. Era gonna get the open wounds off, and No Tail probably has that point of the armor, like I previously mentioned, but a good double stun by Puppey. Gonna slow down Fnatic's barrage of damage, and Havos will be turned upon. He does have high base density, he does manage to dodge the Ice Path, very nicely done. But Kuroki gonna have to burn through a couple sets of regen. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Fnatic Hani was actually pulled a lot, so he's gonna get a fast bottle online, and Dendi is just gonna have such a difficult time in this matchup that, I don't know, it's gonna be really, really hard for him to get any semblance of farm. But being a melee hero, he'll still get some form of experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hani was just, you know, trying to harass him. He's already got 1 salve out of Dendi, and it's kind of really smart that he bought 2 and is doing a bottle rush. So that should help a lot. Meanwhile, in bot lane, Phoenix is getting pushed off of the lane, and this is to be expected. Until Lich hits like 5-7, it's really gonna suck for him, because at that point he can start harassing out the Queen of Pain. But until then, yeah, this is just gonna happen. So basically, Queen of Pain needs to capitalize with the kill at 6, but this lane is going to be heavily in her favor until then. And if she doesn't make the kill happen, though, she'll start losing. Top lane, I think Navi's trying to intercept the pull or something. Oh no, they're just trying to pull to their own creep wave.
Yeah, but Dendi's actually handling this melee very nicely. I've seen Hani, he's harassing, he's doing the tower trick where once you get the tower, you immediately Shikuchi out of the way. But Dendi's still able to pick up some last hits, and I mean, Hani's doing his best to harass Dendi out of the lane, but Pudge has so much HP to go through as Dendi gonna get in position for hook. I don't think Hani is playing this matchup bad. Dendi was just given a lot of regen, he's making the most of it, as he's burned through pretty much all of his regen at this point, and he's still gonna have his ball online, so good, well played by Dendi to sort of overcome this really difficult matchup.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I think Hani traded some harass he didn't really have to, especially because he only had Tango and Dendi had double self Tango. But, I mean, it's going to keep going in his favor. Like, it's never really ever going to be in Pudge's favor, no matter how well he does. So, I mean, the lanes are pretty passive at the moment, but I think something could break out top. Depends on if Gyrocopter, you know, gets the jump on someone.
An interesting choice by Era, gonna save that second skill point. No, didn't get it in stats, just saving it for now. So I guess he's debating whether to get Rage or whether to get the first point to Feast in order to regen up his HP. I imagine he'll get a point to Rage since he has Living Armor to fortify himself, but I mean, if Hani needs Living Armor, that he could put up that point into Feast in order to get himself a nice bit of HP. But yeah, Trian not getting many levels. Again, all he really needs is level 3 and level 5. I mean, obviously you want to have the level 7 up ASAP, but level 1 Living Armor is just not that scary and not that annoying to deal with, so I think Navi can have an advantage in the early stages of the Trine, but we'll see if Fnatic can hold on until they do manage to get the level 3 on Trian. And that it looks to be a long time coming since Noto is just getting no experience whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, it's upsetting, but... Oh, top lane, they're going to go on Nakes, there's going to be a stun, Ice Path will stop any aggression. Navi's keeping going, and there's a pause, that's why No-Tail was just standing there. Yeah, he DC'd.
Yo, that puppy paw is being worked against him. And we'll see. No-Tail, he has the Living Armor up, he has 4 stick charges, so he should be able to escape since Gyrocopter is far behind, doesn't have the boot speed, so I think Trent should be fine. And Jakiri can drop another Drill Breath if he really has to. And Era does have the open wound, so No-Tail should be fine. He will pull you away, he's a mannered guide.
I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but I think he is. Fnatic actually got harassed out of bot lane already. I'm guessing Trixie did a double... Yeah, Trixie did a double Shadow Strike build, which is what you almost always do as safe lane Queen of Pain, just because it gives... I don't know what the damage is, I don't know the math, I just know it's way too much. It's a lot of damage, it's just too much to skip. So, this is kind of important because it means that it's going to be harder for him to kill Lich at level 6, which is when he really, really needs to do it. I'm pretty sure he's going to commit to a Ring of Health soon, just because he'll definitely go for Linken's this game, or at least try to. Like, if things go well, you can just skip the bottle and get the Perseverance, so...
Kuroki, what a nice guy, gonna pull him away.
He is a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, Kuroki.
Fly away.
I mean, Kuroki's been around the Dota scene. He wants to get Dota 2 a lot more popular. But, yeah, Trixie, I mean, it is going to be difficult killing the Lich at level 6, but he's
Oh,
just
top lane.
denying him so much experience. Meanwhile, top lane, another gauge is going to break out. Era is in a launch out. Era will likely die. The living armor not good enough. That living armor level 1 just not enough. I mean, it doesn't even mitigate half of physical attack. So I guess that's really, really well done by Na'Vi getting another lift into Rocket Barrage combination. And they managed to secure a very much needed kill as the most starting to get his farm rolling. Still being out-farmed by the Nyx at this point. But he still got the first blood, so he should be well on his way towards picking up that bracer or the upgraded boots.
Oh, that is just rude. Puppey picks up a haste rune right before Hani can get to it, and Hani would have definitely killed Puppey if he gets there, you know, 1 second earlier, but Puppey was camping runes. I think he likes to do that more than a lot of other captains. He's almost always at a rune, even if it means that his lane's going to be a little bit weaker for a little while, but it really shows how much they invest into Dendi having a decent start.
Yeah, Dendi, his CS has slowed down significantly, as you might expect. It's only at 13 CS, but he had to manage to get 5 denies. I mean, the most
really
important
great.
thing. Sorry?
I was just saying, 13's really great for what this matchup is. Like, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I mean, he's forced to burn through all his regen consistently time and time again, but I mean, that's what you need to get experience as well as levels and some semblance of farm, and that's what Dendi is doing very, very smartly at this point. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Trixie, harassing Fnatic down to so low in terms of HP. Fnatic is only 4 CS, and yeah, you have Dark Ritual not crease, but Trixie's still been able to outlevel Fnatic just on the back of his superior harassment skills, so Queen of Pain is looking to get that Ring of Health, going to go into the Perseverance and likely into the Lincoln Sphere, like you previously mentioned. And this Queen of Pain could have a really strong impact in the tri-lane situation, since she has gotten off to such a good start.
Well, it'll be harder for her because she got the 2 points in Shadow Strike, which means you're probably not maxing Nuke until like 8, probably, when you have Sonic Wave. So it's really much harder to come into a lane and just kill everything. Because I guarantee he's going to use that ult to try to kill Lich. Like, sooner or later, Lich is going to die to that. So,
you know, the challenge just got a whole lot easier for Fnatic since Tree has hit level 3, and that means physical attacks are pretty much negated in terms of harassment, and Eric can just farm a lot more easily, as he has his boot speed, has that magic stick as well, and meanwhile Fly, not too much money in the bank, but still, they're in this trial, they're not doing as well as they probably hoped.
Bot lane.
Bot lane, there will
Fnatic
be
just got bumped into. He knows that, yeah, Trixie's there. He's getting out of the way. He's waiting for the Pudge hook. Nuke, hook, okay. Dendi's just going to chomp the Queen of Pain. That's
Really?
upsetting for her because her, like, huge advantage that she got is just completely melted away now. Because now that Lich has got all those points in that, and he's got 6, Lich is now going to start winning this lane really, really hard. So,
Wow.
that's Dendi for you.
Yeah,
I really like the team coordination there, how he just moves out of the way and stands there.
Yeah, really, really great communication by Na'Vi as Era's going to get lifted and initiate on the top lane, but Rage plus Living Armor, I mean, you're not going to kill that Nyx with those points. And meanwhile, Queen of Pain, she has level 6, but Fnatic has been able to take that experience advantage. It's still being out farm, but again, the experience and level advantage is really the key difference. Meanwhile, the Hani in the mid lane has the Bracer, so it looks like he is going to go for a Drums build, has not yet secured himself the boost speed as Dendi going to pick up the Smoke of Seed, so this might be soon, or it might be time for Dendi to start ganking. But Pudge ganks are always a little bit obvious.
Well, no, not always, because when you smoke, there's always 2 choices. It's like both lanes have to play back until Pudge shows himself, and I'll probably talk about his like hooking style later. But Dendi will wait for a really long time to get a kill, so both lanes have to play back for a really long time until that happens. And I actually hate to nitpick it, but it's not like, I don't know, a lot of Weavers right now. Mid lane, hook, no chomp though.
Yeah, Hani gonna be able to escape just fine, as he does have the ball. Gonna time-lapse the remnants of that damage. Actually gonna teleport himself towards the top lane as there is an engagement. Both taking a lot of damage. He will die to one mighty thwack of that Tree Protector Armor, as Hani's gonna go in. He is looking to finish off Puppey. Puppey is most assuredly gonna die. Ice Path gonna catch him up, and Hani will probably pick up this kill. One more auto attack will secure the death of Puppey, and that is going to be very nicely done by Hani. He's going to go in for Kuroki as well. Kuroki doesn't really have too much hopes of escaping, as we are going to see Pudge rotate himself to the bottom lane. Kuroki going to take a lot of damage. Hani getting juked for a bit. We are going to see a teleport back from Havos, but Kuroki is most assuredly going to die. No, the telekinesis is very nice time. Rock Crash doing a lot of damage, but Hani does pick up a double kill. Leech Seed is being applied, going to heal Fnatic to such great HP, as Havos will get picked off, and Puppey is just forced to cancel his TP. So good teleport reaction by Hani, time-lapsing into the teleport on time on the top lane. Gonna allow him to pick up a lot of kills. Meanwhile, Dendi was able to secure a kill on the Queen of Pain. So nice gank in response by Navi.
Yeah, it was just a really straightforward kill. I didn't see anything that happened top because I was watching Dendi. But it's just a hook and a rot. He didn't even have to chomp because the Lich Nuke really, really hurts now. So Queen of Pain's going to have trouble. Like, just with those 2 deaths, like, everything is working against her. And Dendi is just going to start smoking and placing wards everywhere. He buys all his own smokes, all his own wards. So, yeah, he doesn't get that many items, but his supports are able actually, like, to buy a bunch of stuff. So he's going to smoke mid. No one's going to show up. He'll probably rotate top after this. But it'll be tricky because you see that ward that the Radiant has top?
Yeah.
That's a really good anti-Pudge ward. Like, ridiculously good. Because he always comes through and, like, waits, you know? Or he'll even come through and try to go from behind. Through the secret shop and like behind the tower, that catches out probably both things. So he's gonna try to hook Queen of Pain again. Let's see if he gets her.
Well, Queen of Pain gonna be driven back. There is no Lich support at this present moment. As you can see, Dendi did place that really aggressive ward. Gonna look for an angle, just barely miscalculates Trixie's movement. As Lich is gonna come in, Queen of Pain will be forced to blink back, but that is gonna be right in range. They're gonna drop a Chain Frost. They won't even be forced to use Dismember. Chain Frost has a long cooldown, but very much worth it to keep that Queen of Pain down. But meanwhile, the top lane of Os is going to get initiated on Kroki. Does use the telekinesis onto Weaver as the cooldown will be applied to the supports of Fnatic. Looks like Fly will be able to withstand the barrage since he's so very tanky, but the punch gonna catch Hani, gonna end a huge killing spree streak for 350 gold. And it seems like Fnatic's over-aggressive nature cost them a Weaver kill, or a Weaver death, as they're going to be forced to scurry on out of their. Dendi, where is he at? He's going to try to move himself to get the rune, and he will do just that, as that haste rune gonna allow him to transition right back to the top lane. But Fnatic, they do know that Dendi's coming. Can they react quickly enough? That's the crucial question, as they know Dendi's there, and they are gonna back up appropriately. Era getting sniped on and spied on, but should be able to escape.
Yeah, Dendi knows they see now. He's just gonna go back to lane. Yeah. Dendi's Pudge, I mean, I'm not gonna hype it up any more than it has been because everybody always does that, but he was really fast to kill that Weaver before. Did you see? Oh, it's gonna hit No Tail.
Looks like No Tail is standing next to the creeps for a moment too long. Will get rotted as well as dismembered. Meanwhile, Havos gonna take a lot of damage, so this might not be the best trade. Infest will be enough to secure the kill. Havos, the open wounds duration was wearing off, as meanwhile Pudge gonna spot out Hani as he doesn't have dismember, but Kroki taking a lot of damage. Hani, he's actually gonna go for it, recognizing that Pudge does not have dismember, but he does have enough mana. Kroki will luckily die. The Storm just manages to die. Kroki will escape just by the skin of his teeth. Dendi will take a lot of damage, but he will escape as well. Really good escapes from Navi. A bit fortuitous for Kroki as he managed to escape on a sliver HP. And meanwhile, bottom lane, Trixie gonna might be in for a rude awakening, but he does slink away to safety. He probably did see Nyx's Vendetta up, but they are going to dive him nonetheless. Puppey going to get in position for Impale. Trixie already sees Blink. The living armor will be applied. A mass exodus of TPs to protect the Queen of Pain on the bottom lane will be used as Puppey going to get Lucy and get some mana burn off into Trixie, but Puppey will most certainly die. He is going to be denied by Lich because of the Shadow Strike DPS. The cooldown will be applied by Avos, trying to drive away the heroes on side Fnatic, but living armor will once again be applied. No Tail taking a lot of edge, but should be alright. And we're going to see another teleport in from Hani as he's playing a very, very aggressive ganking Weaver with that help of the living armor. And he has died once, but still had a good impact. Dendi going to come around with a surprise hook shot. Saying surprise, motherfuckers. Does Mitch kill off the Jakiro, and now Hani, going to be driven away, is in a very, very bad location. Couldn't find an angle to initiate, as Puppey does teleport himself in, and looks like Fnatic going to be in the Rude Awakening. What a hook by Dendi! The perfect range! I guess he just predicted the path that Trixie was taking, but that range was the max distance range for a hook. Wow. Dendi Pudge, ladies and gentlemen, what a treat.
Yeah, little thing about the way... Oh, no, I'll talk about it later. He's going to kill No Tail.
No Tail Dosey doing with Dendi. He's going to apply the limit, going to pop the leech seed as well, but Dendi just a bit too fast. It's just going to ring around those here. The Trent Dendi whiffs a hook, and No Tail should be okay, but yeah, that hook by Dendi earlier on the Queen of Pain, such a sensational maneuver as Fly gonna take a Vendetta right to the face, will be impaled as well. The hook gonna come in, will kill off Fly. The living armor just not gonna be enough. Dendi wicked sick on Pudge already, and I mean that's a good and bad because he's getting a huge streak. He's getting a lot of flesh heap stacks when he needs it, but eventually he will likely die, and he's gonna have to give up a huge gold bounty at that point.
Well, he's gonna stop being effective in like 5 minutes max. Just because of the way wards and grouping up works, like it'll be not safe for him to go for solo kills anymore. But is he gonna get the Weaver? Probably not. No, he won't. Okay, so I wanted to say there's 3 things like Dendy's Pudge is characterized by three things really, and I already talked about the buy all your own stuff before. But the two ways that he hooks, that's pretty unique to him, or at least his own style, is one, he'll just throw a hook. Even if he doesn't know it's going to hit, even if he doesn't have mana boots, he'll just throw it. And a lot of times he misses completely, but when it connects on that Queen of Pain, a lot of times when you just throw one, it means that the enemy doesn't see you either. So it's they won't be expecting it, you know? So if it misses, it's no big deal, but if it's at them, they're not going to dodge it. So that's one thing that's makes it much easier to hit hooks. And the other one is that you saw him do it on No Tail, and it actually didn't work, and I was surprised. But when someone does see you, you can't just throw a hook because they'll dodge it. Like, people are decent. And top lane, Havos is getting gone on. Denny's going to keep you up there.
Here comes the Infest bomb with the Weaver, as Weaver will likely time up a lot of damage. Havos is going to be hooked away to safety. Well positioned by Dendy, as he's able to save his gyrocopter friend. Fnatic will most likely not follow up this initiation fly, just simply not in position. But yeah, really, really nice response by Dendy. He's just everywhere on this map, just buying TPs, has a strength treads as well as an Urn of Shadows. And look at his HP pool, Centenary HP. It's just going to be really, really difficult to bring down Pudge, especially at this stage in the game.
Yeah, the only person who can really do anything to him is Lifestealer. But yeah, just finishing up the thought I was saying before. So when someone sees you, they're obviously going to try to juke you. So what you do is you throw a hook, you cancel it. And you see Danny cancel hooks all the time when someone sees him. You readjust and you throw it again. But even the best way to do it so they don't dodge even more, and this is what Dandy does that really sets him apart, is that he'll wait till they run into fog, and then he'll try to hook them. Like, he'll try to hook them once they're in fog, because it means that you don't see each other, and it also means that they're going to change their path. The second they go into fog, they change their path because they're like, oh, I can't run in a straight line. And he hooks it into where they won't be going. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he just has such a good grasp of the hero. He knows every possible outcome. And yeah, I mean, a lot of times he does miss with just some random hooks, but it also puts the fear into enemy's team's heart, as they're going to be driven off the lane, going to be denied some experience as well as some farm. So missing hooks is always going to be, you know, somewhat beneficial in some small way, as Puppey was spotted out by a very nicely placed ward by Fnatic. Just a really, really long-ranged ward was able to snipe out Puppey. But I was going to actually comment, I really feel for Trixie, because I don't think he's necessarily played that bad as Fly. Gonna get dismembered, actually going to be driven away. Back apart, will he drop Croaky? Going to take a lot of damage. Will he be able to steal any sort of spells? No. Era does help to secure the kill, and Arrow actually got hooked towards Dendy. Dendy gonna be in a lot of trouble, but his HP pool means that he's just gonna be so damn difficult to bring down. Fnatic does have the Chain Frost, so we'll use it. It won't bounce whatsoever. The Limiting Armor will be applied. Dendy gonna dodge the Ice Path. Very nicely done. Can he get in position to get a hook? Fly is most definitely gonna die. Actually does manage to hook on to Era, as Hani is gonna come in. Dendy gonna be in a lot of trouble. If he dies now, that could be a huge streak. Sonic Wave will be applied. Dendy gonna deny himself. Very nicely done not to give him that streak at that crucial moment. Meanwhile, Hani gonna go in, will likely polish off of Osinoka, instead time-lapse away to safety as Croaky. Did he manage to steal Shikuchi? No, he stole the Sonic Wave. Almost a better spell in this situation since he still has it online. Hani gonna be driven away once again. Can he actually run on out of there? Of course he can. He's a Weaver. But really, really chaotic teamfight. Dendy actually bought back to get himself right back into the thick of things. And he will be enough in terms of driving Fnatic away. That Fnatic will likely not defend this tier 1 middle. Actually, they might. Yeah. It's at full HP, and they have Limiting Armor.
I think, yeah, and they have a, what's his name? So if, even if they keep it at like a quarter health, it's still worth it, you know?
Yeah, I was actually going to comment on Trixie. I said, I mean, I don't think Trixie's necessarily played that bad, but he's just having a miserable game since Navi's just countering him with all their movements thus far.
Yeah, Pudge is pretty decent against Quap if you can make sure that they don't lane against each other, at least early game, because you can't ever blink to where near the Pudge is, because then you'll just die.
Oh, Ice Path will catch out Dendy, but they're going to retreat. They know Navi are all going to be en route because of this ward in the middle lane. As we got the middle tower taking a bit of damage, but nothing Living Armor can help out. But yeah, it's 10-10, despite us gushing over the play of Dendy. He has 7 of Navi's kills. Meanwhile, Havos has died 3 times. He's going to make his way to BKB, but who actually has the advantage at this point in the game?
Well, remember when I was saying, like, sooner or later, Navi's going to stop being able to just get solo ganks with Pudge? That's now. They've got enough wards up. All the smokes, I think there's like one left. He's got one more smoke. And the team's grouping up. Like, you can't go solo kill the Weaver. Everyone else is grouping up. This is when Pudge kind of falls off really hard, and then he comes back in the teamfight stage if he's really tanky, and he is. So, I think right now Fnatic has the advantage.
Well, I mean, the unfortunate thing for Fnatic is, I mean, it's still only level 2 living armor as he put the 3rd point to leech seed in order to help fortify his engagements, but he still has yet to pick up that ultimate. So Noto is actually severely underleveled. So this Treant is, I mean, he's still very useful, but he's not as useful as he potentially could be. So maybe that will negate each other. I'm not too sure.
I don't know. I think he isn't maxing his armor this game just because Pudge is just destroying people with it. Like, every single time Pudge hooks someone, it doesn't matter if they're armored or not, because Rot just burns through it really, really fast. And yeah, it does. Rot applies the damage differently in Dota 1 and Dota 2. In Dota 1, it takes the ticks are longer, or sorry, the ticks are less frequent but for greater damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it also means that it's much, much easier to deny yourself as Pudge, and which he's already done once this game. So.
Yep, Kuroki burned his Sonic Wave just because the cooldown was coming up relatively soon, so might as well use it to farm some creeps as Hani going to do a bit of harassment on Havos, and Havos has just not had a good time thus far, has nothing like living armor to bail him out of trouble, and Puppey will be there to protect his carry player since Havos BKB actually going to be a bit delayed because of the presence that Fnatic has been applying to him. It's going to be unfortunate as Hani might be in a bit of trouble, should be able to escape from a solo Nyx as well as a Gyrocopter gank since Gyrocopter cannot really follow up that well.
Yeah, they really do need the Pudge or the Rubik to lock him down, I think.
Well, the Vendetta will be applied, but Hani going to cast the Shikuchi, and Lich just going to be floating on off, as he does have that level 11, so the Chain Frost does more damage, has a lower cooldown, and he has a mechanism online, so this Chain Frost is going to do quite a bit of damage, and Fnatic not really anywhere close to picking up a mechanism, nor will they be close in terms of picking up a pipe, so this Lich actually going to do a lot of work in the mid game, I feel like, in these team fights, if Fnatic chooses to team fight.
I think Fnatic should, because they're going to lose ultra late game. Uh-oh.
Oh, Hani just being complete pincered will get absolutely obliterated. No chance in how to escape. Navi didn't even bother to plant a Sentry. Did they even have detection?
Nope. They didn't even need it.
Wow. I mean, they just applied the stuns, and they just melted down that Weaver into oblivion. As Weaver, his farm has been severely limited despite picking up a triple kill so early on. You can see Weaver just
Pudge,
not able to get that much presence.
Smoke TP'd.
Yep, Dendi gonna smoke TP to the bottom lane, but Trixie just playing way too fastly. The fear has put into his heart. He knows that Dendi is lurking. And now he knows because that rune, or that ward did spot out somebody picking up the haste rune, so he probably should be aware that Pudge is there, but he's actually going to stay a bit too close. The haste rune on Dendi, going to allow him to catch up Trixie. Trixie's out of mana for the most part, has no charges on the magic wand, but Dendi just going to be juked for a bit. Has one more blink, Trixie does. Can he actually escape? The urn is getting applied as this is just going to be a merry ring around the rosy. Dendi, I think his haste rune will wear out very, very soon, but Trixie going to be launched out, doesn't have any blink, as the hook going to whiff completely. Dendi did not have vision, and Trixie is able to escape. Very, very lucky, sort of, but really nice play nonetheless by Trixie.
Yeah, no, he did everything right there. Denny could have chomped him a little bit earlier, I think, but Trixie did literally everything right. Like, that was just, like, perfectly executed. And Denny might go down for that.
Yep, Fnatic gonna smoke up. They're gonna go on the offensive for Dendi. He's gonna have a huge streak should he die, and should he not be able to give the opportunity to deny himself, he's gonna pop the overgrowth, no tail will. But Dendi, wow, just popped Rot for a 1/10 of a second and got the self-deny. Wow.
I mean,
middle tower is under attack.
That's the most frustrating thing. Like,
Tower is under attack.
you commit all this, like, killing a Pudge, and it's a Pudge to begin with, and you're like, okay, he's stomping us, but at least we're gonna kill him and he won't be relevant anymore, and that happened. Ugh. Trixie's got to be mad at himself right now.
That is really, really annoying for Fnatic, but at the very least they're able to secure themselves a tower. And the good thing with the Treant on your team is that your towers are just so difficult to break down, especially for Navi's lineup. They don't really have any strong pushing heroes. I mean, Pudge is sort of a strong pusher since he can drive away enemies with his hook, but that's pretty much it. And the Gyrocopter is nowhere near sufficiently farmed to break down these towers single-handedly. So it's going to actually be difficult for Navi to take down these towers as we go longer and longer into this game, and Treant actually gets some more points into living armor, which he will do very, very soon, I imagine.
I think he'll finish maxing Leech Seed, and then he actually might leave it as it is and get a point in Nature's Guys, and then, I don't know. I guess at this point it's really only useful for healing, not for, like, the engages. But, yeah. The point you mentioned about Pudge being, like, a good pusher, sort of, he's good, like, in the area around a tower, like he's good at fighting then and pushing people off a tower, but he's not good at actually pushing the tower down. And Navi doesn't have anybody who can do that, so these towers are just going to stay up.
Kuroki gonna apply the rage, trying to get in position. Will steal Ice Path, a very, very nice spell to steal. I mean, Kuroki just has his pick of any spell in the book. Every spell. I mean, every hero has a good spell to steal in this game. Gonna be very, very annoying as Era. Not even gonna bother to dodge the missile, just gonna instead take it right to the chin. As he has finished the armor as well as the drum, so he's gonna be very annoying for Navi to deal with at this stage in the game. Meanwhile, Lich just farming up. What do you think of the decision to farm up Lich so heavily? As Kuroki gonna initiate on the fly, but the hook, a bit of miscommunication for once for Navi, as Dendi actually does hook Kuroki instead of hooking Fly, and Fly probably thanking his lucky stars that that was the situation.
Yeah, whoops. But what I think about farming up the Lich, I think it's pretty solid. Dendi can't be on the map just of, or Dendi and Puppey actually can't be on the map just to, like, by nature of the heroes they are. They have to be hiding. And there will be an engage. Ice Path goes out, tries to shut down an aggression, and I think it will. So, wow, this tower is higher HP every time I see it.
That's living armor for you, ladies and gentlemen. As Navi, they finally want to get some map control, and they're just finding it so very difficult to do just that. Hani, farming the jungle a little bit, was able to get some semblance of farm in the meantime. Is going to pick up an Ogre Club, so I guess he's rushing the BKB. Interesting decision, but that means he can be pretty much uninterrupted bar Dismember in a team fight.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid pickup, to be honest. And yeah, I wanted to say, most carries will get a Bracer now, but they won't actually finish the drums. Like, the drums is a worst case scenario. I bet Hervost has. Oh no, he finished the drums. I wouldn't think he would have, but okay. Puppey going in really far. He won't get punished for it just because Strata Hook.
Yeah, the rage duration is quickly wearing off as the Weaver illusion going to be microed. I mean, they burn a mana burn and a hook, not really the biggest resources to expend. And Hani making the smart decision. He has a teleport scroll, so he knows he can defend this tower. And I mean, does this tower even need to be defended? It has living armor and Ice Path. That should be enough to drive away Navi, but Dendi trying to get himself into position. Might be able to get a hook off relatively soon. And this tower taking more and more damage, so Hani might be forced to teleport themselves in. As the tower gonna be once again living armored up, the hook gonna whiff, gonna instead hit a creep, and the creep of his died, so that means this tower will be healed up once again. And I mean, Fnatic definitely coming out ahead since Weaver's getting farm, and you know, nobody inside Navi's getting farm in exchange.
I mean, it's really important for this tower to go down just for that map control, but it's so hard to do. It really is, especially when they have vision of Pudge the entire time. Like, it doesn't matter how good you are at Pudge. If they have vision of you and, like, every single person is looking at your hero, you're not going to hit a hook. It's just not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. So, as good as Dendi is, he can't make anything happen. I mean, if you go on anybody, the Nyx is just going to rage and start killing you. So, I guess they're just going to split push. And yeah, Navi's going to back off. Gyro's going to farm top. I think that was a good decision. They shouldn't have wasted their time trying to take down the tower when they obviously can't.
You know, Trixie, looks like the sports were stacking some neutrals, so he's able to get a triple stack of medium-high neutrals, and he's going to be relatively, well, he's still far away from Fishes and Lincolns, but any farm that Trixie gets is going to be much appreciated. And if we take a look at the graphs, only a slight goal advantage for Navi, a pretty significant experience advantage, but, I mean, slowly but surely, Fnatic are going to catch up ahead because of them having more mobile heroes to really exploit the areas of the map that Navi cannot.
Yeah, I think the Weaver split push is going to be, like, the deciding factor in this game. I think it's, like, if everybody on Navi is standing around doing nothing except for Gyrocopter, and on Fnatic you got Weaver split pushing one lane and Quap split pushing another while Nyx just farms whatever's left, Fnatic's going to come out on top. So, Navi either has to make something happen or just seriously step up the farming game, and I think it's really in their favor to try to make something happen, even if it can't. Which is what they just tried to do with mid lane, but I think they're switching to farming now, and I don't know, it could go either way.
Well, Puppey very close to getting that Blink Dagger if that is the option he decides to go for. As Dendi just going to hook creeps left and right, just trying to get that farm. He has the regenerate, so might as well burn it. As Hervost has his own BKB finished. We'll see what he decides to go for. I think usually for Hervost, he likes to go straight MKB after finishing the BKB, and that could be a solid option in this game.
I really actually think that just a straight Butterfly would be better, because look at all the right-click damage Fnatic has. They got Weaver, they got Nyx, and they got Queen of Pain. Like, and I love MKB and all, but none of those heroes are going to get to Butterfly anytime soon. And
yeah, I guess you're right, because, I mean, one of the big components of MKB is that you don't really miss uphill, but, I mean, Navi at this stage of the game, they're not really going to be threatening uphill too often in a teamfight scenario. So I have to agree with you. Butterfly would be a more prudent option, and Enavos smartly just saving up his gold. We'll see if he picks up the Demon Edge. The courier not in position. I mean, it's really difficult to say what he'll get at this stage in time. You know, Weaver has picked up a BKB himself now just to allow him to play more aggressive. Do you know if Living Armor can be applied through BKB?
You know,
Radiant's top tower is
I'm
under
actually
attack.
proud to say that I don't know this answer because I'm not a Triumph picker.
The scum of the earth.
And my friend recently discovered yesterday that Trant is his new favorite hero after Medusa, so I have to play games with him, and it's just embarrassing. So, Kirky's just running around. I mean, everybody's just kind of running around the map trying to stack camps and be efficient, but nothing is happening at this point. And it's like I said, Pudge kind of hits a point where he can't do a lot because of everybody just groups up, and you can't like try to go hook someone because at that point you hook someone and then 4 people kill you. So it looks like Navi's going to try from mid tower again, and I think this time it'll work. I think it will.
Well, they have an Infest Bomb in the form of Weaver, and the glyph will be applied, and Navi once again going to be driven away. This must be incredibly frustrating to them since they picked up a pretty aggressive lineup for the most part, but they've got to play this patient game since they can't really dive recklessly up the hill up against a Jakiro teamfight potential as well as the Treant Protector, because Leech Seed gives you so much extra tank ability. As meanwhile, Kuroki, where is Kuroki? Oh, he's going to get Nishion, but he has Shikuchi, so he should be able to escape very easily. I mean, I think the Infest is going to be up relatively soon since Era used it quite a while ago. And he's going to go for S&Y. Interesting choice. I guess he wants to add the move speed up against the heroes of Navi who are not really mobile whatsoever.
It's pretty important for him to be able to, 1, run down Pudge and just kill him 100-0 in open wounds, and 2, he needs to get on top of Gyrocopter because Gyrocopter likes to kite people around, you know? So if he just gets on top of Gyro in a man fight, he'll win. So he needs to get on top of him and isolate him as soon as he possibly can so that Gyro doesn't kill his entire team. So I really like S&Y this game. I like it most games, but I like it especially this game.
You know, checking out the farm on the side of Fnatic. No mechanism, no pipe just yet, as they have not been the ones who've been farming up, but eventually they will get those items. Meanwhile, on the side of Navi, they have mechanism. Rubik saving up a lot of gold. Meanwhile, Puppy, he has finished his own dagger, and he can do some initiation, but still Fnatic, they have pretty decent range that they can constantly stay very far back. As looks like there will be initiation. Puppy won't blink in onto Era as the Chain Frost will be applied. They're trying to do as much damage as possible. Era going to dispel it with the rage. He's going to be dismembered during that moment, but he should be able to escape. No Tail going to apply the Leech Seed, and Fnatic will escape. And now they know that the Blink Dagger is up on Nyx.
That was a huge win for Fnatic. They showed the dagger, they dropped the Chain Frost. This mid tower is going to be up for another like 3 minutes at least, I think. Just because that was a try, and unless someone gets hooked, and they really shouldn't be getting hooked at this point, yeah. I think Fnatic's coming out on top. They're just being patient, and that's how you got to play against Pudge.
I mean, one thing about Fnatic is even though they've had their struggles, I think they're probably top 3 best composed late game European teams. I mean, you've seen them win late game scenarios more often than not. As, oh my god, Era and Hani actually dove in. They're going to initiate out to Dendy. Dendy's taking a lot of damage. He will give a huge streak as he will die. Wicked Stick streak going towards Hani as Corky did manage to steal Sonic Wave, but just simply not enough. Bush will fly in with the call down, but the Living Armor are going to protect Fly for now. No Tail will be the first one to die on side Fnatic, but they're going to kill off Vos as well, burning that 10-second BKB charge. Puppy will die as well. Fnatic will be driven away. Is going to try to escape. Can he actually escape? He should be able to escape. But just a huge victory being won by Fnatic. They ended a Wicked Six streak. They ended the 10-second BKB duration on Gyrocopter, and they killed off a multitude of Navi heroes. A really, really key victory for Fnatic in order to take this game, or bring the momentum back in their favor at the very least. And I think they've done that in spades.
Yeah, I mean, they were waiting. They were being so patient. It's really hard to be that patient, but they were. No one got hooked for like 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden they break out with all their, you know, they have more farm than the other team, and they completely kill Navi. Mid tower should, I don't know if it'll go down, but it'll be mostly hurt. Yeah, mid tower will go down, and at this point the map's been opened up for Fnatic.
Yeah, Hani picked up so much gold, has 2,800 gold in the bank. We'll see what he decides to go for, as he does have a lot of gold.
An MKB.
Very survivable at this point. And meanwhile, Gyrocopter, he did use his 10-second BKB charge, has enough for biohack and an item, but still wisely went on to it. And actually, that was a 9-second BKB, so this BKB is going to become less and less effective as this game goes on. And Gyrocopter, there are a lot of anti-measures to deal with the Gyrocopter since Weaver can run in with the Infest Bomb. And once Lifesteal picks up an Abyssal Blade, as Era going to be telekinesis, can he be lifted onto the lower ground? No, just simply not enough range. And Era will be able to escape just fine. But yeah, Fnatic, I mean, despite their struggles recently, they are still, in my opinion, probably the top 3 Western team in terms of being patient and in terms of matching up to the late game once they can make it to the late game, since they're so composed and they've been around for so long. I mean, they're really, really fun to watch in the late game. It's actually very, very Chinese-esque. They're very difficult to break in the late game.
I think they're more Chinese than Chinese teams in some respects. Just because they're so patient and they'll split push and farm so much. Like, the reason they pick Meepo is just so that he can split push all the lanes, and you're like, oh my god, I can't deal with this. Like, that's why they pick Meepo. And,
Rat Dota, best Dota for
yeah.
Fnatic, not for VP.
Not for VP, that's why VP's the man. Top lane, there's gonna be a next bomb.
Oh, Havos gonna be caught out. Not gonna bother burning his BK just yet. The Sonic Wave will be applied, and Puppy gonna blink on out of there, but they are really shutting down Havos. He has actually lost a sizable amount of gold. He did manage to pick up his Demon Edge, as maybe he's gonna go for an MKB, maybe to prevent Hani from going for that butterfly, but looks like BKB or MKB will be the choice for Havos in this game. And Fnatic gonna muscle down yet another tier 2, and now the map is slowly being restricted. And this will allow Fnatic, once they claim another tower, to potentially go in for Roshan, despite having the Pudge hook advantage on the side of Navi.
And Denny went for a 4-staff. That's very interesting. Normally he goes for BKB, just for that, I mentioned the, like, rot and stand in the middle of everybody factor. But I think he's really worried about Nakes, just 100 to 0ing him. Even if, even if he BKBs to run away, he still has to, like, run from the Rage Lifestealer, so he's not holding his ground. So I think he's going for 4-staff so he can, like, back up and then hook someone else in, I think.
And Fnatic's teamfight getting a lot more scary because Fly has picked up the mechanism now, and Tail, I think he's working his way towards a 4-staff, and that allow him to push Nax in and try to do more damage while he's being kited around, and also push his teammates to safety as Navi. They're going to get in position. They want to defend this tower. Lich, level 15, so he doesn't have that really critical level 16 of Chain Frost. This is Hani. Could be in a bit of trouble from Puppy, as Puppy looking for an avenue to shake, gonna try to get the double impale, but only gets Era. Era will get hooked. Nice hook angle by Dendy's, does manage to kill off Era immediately. Trixie gonna do a lot of damage, but here comes the Chain Frost. It won't bounce whatsoever. The Ice Path gonna be applied defensively, as Hani just gonna go in. Can he kill off anybody? Weaver does kill off the Rubik in the end. Trixie gonna be driven away. He's gonna get the living armor applied to him, but the Maneuver just flies in, completely destroying Trixie. And Navi are going to be able to defend this tower successfully. Trixie actually going to buy back, and he wants to help save the lives of his allies. His overgrowth will be popped defensively. The hook just going to barely live. And we'll see if Navi pursue the issue. They are going to back up, but Hani's still going in, trying to do as much damage as possible. As far as Dual Breath will be applied. Dismember will be used onto Era, who did buy back. He is going to go in. Once again, going to use the Infest. Savos going to take a lot of damage. Fnatic, can they make the most of these buybacks? Savos going to be in launch hole. Looks like Hani going to get hooked, but Dendy just simply can't do enough. He's going to be 4-staffed away to safety by himself. The Storm still being applied, and Trixie, he's going to make sure Dendy can't self-deny himself. Fnatic gonna clean up despite buying back 2 heroes. They're gonna get the tier 2, might even get Roshan, so those buybacks very much worth it. As Navi starting to crumble a bit under the superior late game presence of Fnatic at this stage.
Yeah, so check this out. Trixie's almost got a BKB. Nakes is, I'm guessing, Basher AC. He's like halfway there. I think Hani's got like 5k in the bank. They're all at their next round of items, and Navi hasn't done anything. Like, Navi's got a Blink Dagger, a BKB in some farm, a 4-staff, and like another 4-staff in mech. Whereas Fnatic's going for like those big right-click carry items.
Oh, Trixie just gonna solo kill Kuroki on the bottom lane, and that is definitely gonna mean non-contested Roshan as the full Navi squad are dead. And the Aegis will likely go to Era, since Hani is so damn difficult to bring down with the BKB as well as the living armor. But yeah.
Yep, and at this point, I'm starting to think that Gyro might have to turn that Demon Edge into a Rapier. Like, if Fnatic won another fight and maybe get a Rax, I'm pretty sure that has to be a Rapier.
Oh, Gyrocopter Rapier.
It's a good mechanic.
It does sort of take the charm out of Rapier, but I mean, it's in the game, and it definitely does have to prolong the game in terms of excitement. But right now, Fnatic have a significant advantage. I mean, Weaver has 6k gold in the bank, and he doesn't have any damage increasing him, so he can actually pump out scary amounts of damage with this next item choice, whether it be a Butterfly or an MKB, or even a Desolate at Ares style.
Honestly, might be a Heart. And I know that sounds really weird, but it could be a Heart. Just because if you have Nakes and Weaver, or Nakes and Queen of Pain dealing all the right click, and you just are tanky and impossible to kill and take out the supports. I don't know. I wouldn't do it myself, but he might do it. Like, the option's there.
You know, Era has the Basher finish, going to clear up these ancient stacks. And Hani, I think he's thinking long and hard. I think he's probably debating between Desolator to push the base and another item to give him some bit survivability, as he is really thinking about this quite heavily, probably debating with his team, calling a council of elders to try to figure out what he should do with this item. And he has 63.3k gold in the bank. He's going to drive out towards the secret shop. It's going to be a heart or a anything, because a lot of items are in the secret shop.
It's a Lincoln's.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't want to get chomped, but now they have two people with BKB and Lincoln's on the team. It's like, okay, well, you're never going to get disabled, and I guess I just feel like they have enough natural right click that they don't have to, you know, worry about actual damage. So BKB Lincoln's on him. BKB Lincoln's almost on Trixie. And Nakes is, you don't even have to build survivability on him because, like, every single ability that he has is, like, a survivability. So, yeah. I don't know. It's not looking that bright for Na'Vi right now.
Well, Havos has picked up the Rapier, so that is definitely going to be an opening for Na'Vi, as they have the Rapier on the gyrocopter, and now they can splash him so much damage, and they might actually be able to bring down this pesky middle tier 1 tower. But Fnatic, they do realize that the Rapier is in play, because Havos did show himself on the bottom lane. So now we'll have to see how Fnatic responds. Do they have the lockdown to deal with the gyrocopter Rapier? And keep in mind, gyrocopter, he still has a 7-second BKB charge, so he can be magical immune for quite a long time. And Fnatic, they built in towards these very defensive items. Do they actually have enough damage to bring down the most?
Kill him, actually, because everything that I said before was predicated on them actually being able to get on top of him and right-click him. But they can't even get to him now because he just shoots like 6 attacks and then everything dies. So I think these really defensive safe items might actually come back to bite them.
Well, Hani gonna look for an infest opening. The Sentry Ward will be applied. Era will immediately burst out. Rubik will be the first one to die. As Havos trying to go ham on the side of Fnatic. He's taking just so little damage, as Weaver was able to time-lapse him out to safety. But Era will be forced to burn the Aegis. Looks like Chain Frost will be applied. Gonna bounce everywhere on the side of Fnatic, just bouncing relentlessly. Era gonna respawn. Neo Havos did die. Who picked up the Rapier? That is the real question.
Puppy got it. Immediately. Puppy was on that.
And because his team, or because the other team didn't pick it up, because he was the first member on his team, he can actually drop it to the fountain and allow us to reclaim it. But wow, that fight still didn't go that well for Na'Vi, but they did at least take down the Aegis. So I guess that's something.
They might not have known that he had a Rapier. They didn't. No one moved to pick it up once it fell. Like normally when that happens, you see 3 heroes just converge on it immediately, and no one was clicking it. It's like a. It's like, you know, when someone goes for an Aegis steal, it's just everybody's clicking that one spot as fast as possible, but Fnatic didn't even bother, so I don't know.
Well, Fnatic gonna get Ice Path as Gyrocopter is still dead for the next 20 seconds. Bash is holding Fnatic in place, and this will likely be a middle set of barracks. The glyph is online for Na'Vi, so they can potentially delay the push, as Nick's gonna come in with the Impale. Notice he didn't pick up the Rapier, as the glyph will finally be applied. Gyrocopter might very well respond to defend these middle barracks as Puppy gonna get the Shadow Strike. Trixie gonna get himself hooked as well as dismembered, but he is forced to cancel it. Dendi is, and that means the middle barracks will be taken by Fnatic. So despite going up against Rapier, they themselves have claimed the first barracks in the game, and Na'Vi weren't able to take a single tower on the back of that Rapier choice. But they still have the Rapier. That's at least something. And we'll see if they can make the most of it. Oh no, Hani gonna reinitiate. I don't know if this is the best move for Fnatic. They don't have the Aegis to play with, but they are gonna force a BKB charge. Havos down to probably around 5 seconds of that BKB. So those BKB charges could be coming very, very scarce at this moment.
Yeah. And normally, well, not normally, but it used to be okay if you got Raxus Gyro, just because once you got that late game item set, you just clear a wave in 1 second anyway, but you don't really want to use it to farm that much anymore, like if a fight could happen, so I think getting supers, or getting supers against a Gyro is much better than it used to be.
Well, I think Gyrocopter definitely needs some evasion, since Era gonna have that Abyssal Blade up, and I think he can probably buy out, since Fnatic have so many towers left on the map that they could potentially naturally spawn and just lose a couple towers should they lose a team fight. So the Abyssal will just be another measure to lock Gyrocopter in place. So despite the Rapier and despite Fnatic building all these defensive items, Fnatic still have a pretty solid grasp, especially with this Abyssal Blade being picked up relatively soon on Era.
You know, he might just go for an AC. Could go either way, just because like your supports really benefit from all the armor. because everybody takes the damage from the gyro, right? So right now, you've shown that you're able to kill him. If you get the AC and maybe if Vlad's up on a support, it'll really go like really far into having everybody not die. And judging by the fact that they've all built defensive items already, I think that it's kind of likely that he'll go for the AC.
Well, the tier 2 not going to be contested. Fnatic going to give it up for free. Instead, they're going to apply pressure to the top lane as well as the mid lane because of the natural creep progression. And you can see Navi's items have started to scale off. Ghost Scepter was the choice for Dendi. Meanwhile, looks like Fnatic trying to build his way towards the Hex, but there's so many defensive items that Hex might not be as effective as he'd hoped. But Navi going to get back in position to defend this tier 3 on the top lane, and Fnatic, the next Roshan fight, as always in these late game scenarios, is going to be the critical engagement for both teams.
Yeah, I think if Navi picks it up, they might honestly just go for another Rapier. No joke. I mean, you've already shown, like, you already can't die, so... by can't die, I mean, if you die, you lose, so why not get another Rapier, right? You could go for Satanic, I guess. But
yeah, I was about to say,
fun,
would
right?
Lifesteal be a good option?
I mean, Lifesteal's... I don't know. This is... I say this a lot to you, but I'm pretty bad at knowing, like, late game carry items, which is best. I think Butterfly isn't necessary. You can just get, like, the Talisman of Evasion and Lifesteal. I don't know.
Well, Host, he has the Sacred Relic.
Well, he made up his mind.
Yep. And this actually puts a lot of pressure on Fnatic because they certainly don't want to deal with the double Rapier Gyrocopter, so this might actually force Fnatic to make a couple mistakes because right now they're playing very smart, but I don't know, Rapier makes you do crazy things, especially a double Rapier. You can pretty much kill anybody you want in a barrage of flat cannon. I mean, pretty much the only people you can't kill is going to be the Weaver and the Lifesteal, and 2v5 is just not going to be a pretty situation for Fnatic should that team fight engage, as Roshan going to respawn in a matter of minutes. And we're going to have to see how Fnatic responds because I think now they are sort of forced to push the issue despite them having a Rax advantage.
And there will be an Abyssal pickup, and I actually like this because once he showed his other Rapier, I think they decided that, okay, we can't ever actually... Like, we're just going to all die anyway, the AC won't help with that, so we have to kill him before he kills us type of strategy.
Well, I mean, the Weaver and Fest bombs have been
It's the U.S. foreign policy strategy.
Well, I mean, the Weaver and Fest bombs have just been so crucial. I guess those defense items really working wonders for Hani as he's just able to constantly get in range of the Gyrocopter. But will they have enough damage to bring him down? That's the real question. And I guess without Evasion and without Lifestealer, they do have enough damage, but still, one salvo could potentially mean the end of Fnatic. So scary for them as they are in the jungle of Navi, and Navi are fully aware that this is going on. But Navi going to rotate themselves to try to get into position to take Roshan as it is going to be respawning, and this is such a tense moment for both teams. How will they respond? Fnatic going to pressure the top lane and allow the mid lane to pressure itself naturally. We're going to have to see if Navi blinks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I think what Fnatic want to do is smoke gank, and yep, they'll do it right now. They'll try to wrap around, pick somebody off. Oh, this is really risky. They don't know that Navi isn't camped up on the high ground right there. Okay, nope, they'll be okay. They realize that it isn't, and it looks like Fnatic are going to take Roche, maybe, question mark?
I don't know, Havos 440 gold away from finishing the second Rapier, which will definitely be the choice. I mean, why do you need to buy back when you already have a Rapier? There's really no point. So, this is pretty nuts, not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is... I mean... Each team is just waiting for the other to kind of step over that little invisible line that's separating the two, and then that's just gonna that person's gonna die, and then that's gonna be the game. So Fnatic's gonna take Roshan, I think. Nope, Navi's gonna contest.
I mean, I don't think Fnatic can kill Roshan fast enough before Navi responds, and you obviously don't want to fight Gyrocopter in such a clustered up area, as the Crow will be spotted out. That was gonna be the second Rapier, so that means will Fnatic have an opening? I don't know. It might be deceptive since Gyrocopter still does plus 420 damage. I mean, 420 plays at yellow. All that's just gonna be...
At least you didn't say 322. Well, I think... How are they gonna get this Rapier? Like, how are they gonna give it to him? Oh, well, that's how. Fnatic gave up their position.
Well, Navi, they're smoked up, but it's going to be dispelled by Hani as he's going to charge in. Havos going to buy the Rapier from the secret shop. Oh my god, this... Well, Puppy going to charge in. I'm a bit surprised Fnatic... Oh, I think they have a gem. I might just be not aware. Yeah, they have a gem up on Hani. my god.
Well,
this is...
That's something, I guess. Oh no,
Dire's
Puppy.
middle tower is under attack.
Well, Puppy gonna D-ward, he's gonna get Ice Path. Will they initiate onto Puppy? They're gonna use the full duration of Rages. Havo's gonna charge in, he's gonna get himself immediately Abyssal Blade up. Here comes the over, gonna be applied, but the Chain Frost just putting in work. Oh my god, Fnatic gonna get complete steamroll this fight. Is Hani gonna get away with lifesteal and Saddam very fortuitous Infest being procced by Era, saving that very, very crucial buyback costs, but Navi gonna pick up the Aegis.
Top tower is under attack.
And now, Fnatic, they have no choice but to pressure the tier 4s. They can't contest this
Dire's
Roshan
middle tower
since
is
Blackhand
under
is going to be
attack.
back online. And we'll see if Navi respond. They might give up a tier 4 in order to sack it, but no! Fnatic going to go in to try to kill off the tier 3. I think they would be better off trying to kill off the tier 4. The glyph is going to be in place, and they are going to force a teleport back by Dendi. Meanwhile, Havos is just going to solo the Roshan, but he's getting bashed into Oblivion. He will be able to clean it up nonetheless. And now Navi looking pretty strong. That Chain Frost just went to work, and that Rage being expended so early on definitely didn't help, although they did get the Abyssal buff. And you can see those defense items just means once lifesteal is disabled, they just don't have enough damage to kill the Gyrocopter, even when he doesn't have lifesteal, nor does he have Butterfly.
I think at this point he has to get lifesteal. I think he's not gonna do it. He's gonna get another Rapier. He hasn't already bought it. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get another Rapier because he would have his Dominator by now. So I don't even know what's up. Yup, there's gonna be. This is the latest Tessellator I've ever seen, actually, on like a carry, not a support. That is a late Deso, and I think they realized, guys, we got problems. We need damage now. So he's gonna go back into Deso, which is kind of weird. Queen of Pain hasn't got any right click. She won't get any right click. Like that's it. She's maxed out. I guess Nakes goes for AC, and you hope that the minus armor's enough.
Well, I mean, if worse comes worse, since now he doesn't really have a mobile lineup, Fnatic could potentially just split push with Hani since he's not dying these teamfight engagements. But Navi might recognize Fnatic's plot, and they are going to go in. I mean, if I were Hani, I'd just go in and try to kill off this tier 4 tower since Glyph is down. I mean, why not?
The creep's turning in the base right now. You can't backdoor it.
Well, you have a Desolator.
I mean, unless
it.
you mean like just split push, and I think that's the right answer. Like dodge fights until the Aegis is down. Split push as much as you can. Make sure buyback's up on everybody. Like Fnatic's the #1 team that I would trust to do this, even over Alliance. So, like they know how to play late game.
Radiant's top tower
I mean,
is under
pretty
attack.
much 1 or 2 salvos cleared out an entire creep wave. This is scary going up against most Gyrocopter this stage, as he has 5k gold in the
Radiant's
bank.
top tower has
And
fallen.
meanwhile, Fnatic not really close to pressuring any lanes of Navi. And Navi, they know Fnatic want to dodge fights, but they're just going to go in and try to take fights themselves. But meanwhile, Era will go in, trying to burn through this regen, and looks like those first 2 hits were not negated by the backdoor regen. And Navi are forced to teleport back to defend the base. The tier 4 tower actually did die, so more tier 4 tower remains for Navi, and then the Ancient is fully exposed as the tower on the bottom lane gonna be sieged, and Fnatic appropriately enough gonna retreat immediately, but Fly gonna give himself Hex stuff. Fnatic did manage to finish that Hex, but I guess losing in Shakira at this stage. Actually, he's down for 60 seconds. Does he have buyback? He does. But still,
It's no big deal. He won't buy back.
I know, but like 60 seconds is quite a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, Navi isn't gonna really leave the race anyway, and Fnatic's still gonna keep farming. Like, I don't know, that kill doesn't mean anything. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Navi wants to do something. Gyro's gonna pick up a BOT, so that's a really good item, just because you can win a fight and TP to the other lane and then just get a Rax. So that's pretty solid. You also need it for item slot consolidation, seeing as you're going Rapier, Rapier, and Rapier build. You need the item slots, I guess. So I guess they're gonna want to try to use this Aegis while you can, right? They're just gonna go barreling down mid lane. The new counter to Treant is enough damage that, minus 80, no big deal.
Yeah, you said this tier 1 mid would survive for 3 minutes. It survived for 30 minutes, but in the end, double Rapier pretty good against towers.
He's hitting like a carry tiny. This is absurd.
Well, if Hani gonna get spotted out by Puppy, this could potentially be the end of Hani, as he's gonna get the invisibility off. The Hex will be en route as well. The Chain Frost is gonna be applied. Can they actually kill off Hani? He's gonna time up his way to safety. Very, very fortunate, since Hani, he didn't have enough for buyback. It's probably gonna blink in. Hani will just BKB, smart maneuver to teleport himself out. Chain Frost has been expended, but still another BKB charge was burned. That was the 8-second BKB charge for Weaver. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely
and on top lane, there was almost a kill, but it was a pretty good hook dodge from Trixie, so nothing came of it. Ooh, Trixie's going for I really like this. Trixie's going for an Ethereal Blade, just so that you can Ethereal the Gyrocopter once he uses his thing and hope to... I mean, it just buys your team a little bit of time. You can't really blow...
Yeah, the problem is that even with a 4-second BKB, the Rapiers just do too much damage that Trixie might end up dying.
That's a legitimate concern.
Double Rapier, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's definitely going for 3. There's no way he isn't. Puppey is on the attack, but I don't think he'll find anybody, so...
Well, Era recognizes the dangers Fnatic is in. He knows Boots Chow is a good option if they want to split push down. So he's going to split push the middle lane and then try to teleport himself back to the base. But the Aegis is timing out relatively soon. It's going to time out in about 1.5 minutes. So Navi won't have that bit of extra insurance, but I mean, I guess Reverse, the best defense is a good offense. That's coming to collect. He actually picks up the butterfly instead, so he wants that evasion.
Yeah, I actually agree with this choice.
Because he knows Abyssal Blade is going to lock him in place, because I think Lifesteer might be the only person on the team that can actually survive a full salvo of Gyrocopter damage. So Abyssal Blade will probably be applied regardless.
So, the butterfly is going to... His armor is now at 20, and with Glitch it's at 30. He's got the minus attack speed. It's minus 30, I think, attack speed or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's good. It makes people hit you slower. So,
Dire's middle tower.
He's got that going for him. He's got the evasion, and I don't know how Fnatic is going to kill him.
I mean,
how do they do it?
I think they should just keep doing what they're doing, because they should just split push, dodge fights, and chip away at the tier 4.
Yeah, but sooner or later, Navi even if they do that forever, and even if they get another axe off of it, Navi gets desperate, sends like Dandy or whatever to stay in top lane, sends a Gyro barreling down mid lane, and you just flak off the towers and kill everything and just take the throne. Like, sooner or later, that's going to happen.
I mean, I'd agree with you if Navi didn't lose their first tier 4. Since Fnatic still have all of their buildings left in their base, that I think Fnatic, even with one glove up, could potentially kill off the tier 4 and force Fnatic to retreat.
They don't even kill buildings fast. Like, look at their heroes. It's going to take them so long.
I mean, they have a Desolator. That's something.
I guess a Weaver, but then, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Late game's such a crapshoot.
Well, it's going to be even more of a crapshoot as Gyrocopter's 3.3k on the wing. Will he go back into lifesteal? That is the question. I mean, he already picked up the butterfly. I mean, I think the evasion's enough.
I don't know. There's 2 items left for him to get. Rapier or Satanic. He doesn't need the MKB. So... I don't know. It's... I guess... Yeah, no one on Radiant is going to have evasion. Nobody. So, I guess, yeah, you gotta go for that Satanic. I mean, he could also buy a new BKB, but I don't think he wants to do that right now.
Yeah, I don't really think he needs to at this point, especially since nobody's fighting. And I mean, Fnatic, even though they're playing all right, there's just... I don't know what they can actually do. This is so weird and just so tense.
You know what they're doing? Look at where Trixie is. Trixie's
hiding.
been sitting there for about 3 minutes. Sooner or later, he's going to get AFK and like abandoned, but he's just waiting for the for Havos to come top and farm, and him and Lifesteal are just going to try to blow him up.
Well,
and
besides,
oh no, he's actually going to come out, so never mind.
Yeah, I think he probably realized now we just go barreling down the middle lane, and he's just going to instead pressure the top lane. And Milahani going to work on the bottom lane. But now he should take up this tier 2 before Fnatic even reaches the base. I mean, I can't really imagine Fnatic using Liv for tier 2 at this stage. Wow, they are.
Ha! Ha! Yeah, every time you tries to say anything, that just happens.
God. I mean, Fnatic, they're not going to even reach Navi's space, so I think that glyph was a huge waste.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
But the tier 3 was killed off by Lifesteal Illusions, because he had an illusion.
I mean, that's something.
Yeah, that's gold, and that's it.
Yeah, at this stage in the game, the towers aren't a huge deal, just because you're not going to have like a fight on Navi space. They're never going to push in to try to do that. So it's just going to be split push, and a split pusher doesn't care about a tower that much. It's just like a a means to an end. Like, you got to kill it before you kill the barracks. So it'll take a couple seconds off their split push time to get the racks, but that's it, really. Hani is actually farming pretty solidly. He's going to be close to a 6k item.
Oh, Puppy, he might be able to spot No-Tail, but he doesn't have enough damage by himself. But look at Gyrocopter, he's approaching No-Tail very rapidly. No-Tail just does a smart maneuver, gets himself out of trouble. And he probably saw Gyrocopter approach from this really, really unusual place, Zero Ward, up on the bottom lane. And Hani just gonna hide himself in the base. And all the while, Fnatic just gonna split push to the best of their ability. They just is timed out, but now they're just gonna wait around for the next Aegis, which is coming up in about 20 seconds. And we're gonna have to see how Fnatic responds. They can't take the Aegis because they don't have enough damage in comparison to Gyrocopter.
Yeah, but they're just gonna park people top lane until Navi puts people up there. So, I don't know what's gonna happen because, oh my God, Gyro's got 640 last hits. It's the modern day Medusa, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, it's better since you actually have an early game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not quite as sick of seeing Gyro as I am of Medusa because, like, you actually do stuff, but, I mean, once you hit late game, you might even be better than Medusa. Obviously, yeah, you're easier to kill, but look at that.
It's pretty insane. He has 7.3k gold in the bank. He's going to pick up the Aegis. I mean, at the very least with the Aegis, he won't have that third Rapier, so I guess that's a blessing in disguise for Fnatic. But still,
he needs to get a new BKB.
Yeah, or maybe you just sell this, or drop the old BKB and get another Rapier. Why not?
Because when Aegis times out, if you do that, when Aegis times out, you have to wait. There's like the 4-minute window, and then you're really, really vulnerable then, so.
All the while, Fnatic pressuring the buildings. Hani is able to pick off the tier 3 tower on the bottom lane, and then Gyrocopter is back to position. Era just being chipped away relentlessly. One shot going to be the end of Trixie. That is getting the last of Gem, but Hani's just chipping away at the bottom barracks in response. He's going to bring it down to around 3/4 HP, and Hani should be able to escape No-Tail in position to apply the living armor whenever possible. As Aegis was picking up the Gyrocopter yet again. I don't know who got the cheese. The cheese is still by Roshan.
It's still there. I wanted to talk about that. Every single person from Navi shown on the map, if Fnatic was really, really paying attention, or, you know, was us and had, you know, the whole big map vision thing, they would know that it's in there. But every single person shown, the cheese wasn't picked up. Like, they can go get it. Go do it, Hani.
Maybe they think the courier picked it up.
Oh, that could be it, yeah. I mean, it's probably more likely that they didn't just check. Like, who assumes that you're just going to leave a cheese there, you know?
Or maybe they think Kavos probably sold it. I don't know. This is so difficult for Fnatic. They can't make any assumptions. Look at Havos, 10k gold in the bank. I mean, Havos is still feeding. He's 779. God, what a guy. Still feeding after getting double rapiers.
I mean, Fnatic has played this perfectly. Like, for the past 40 minutes, they've done everything right. Aside from maybe like 1 or 2 pickoffs, Fnatic's gonna run, Fnatic! Fly's gonna get picked up and killed. I have a very bad habit of referring to players by their team name, just when I see them and I see the first thing, so Fnatic just died right there, guys.
Fnatic just died in that one Jakiro incident. And Meow Denius finishes his own E-Blade, so that's going to be pretty good in terms of shutting down, well, Hani has so many
tight advantage.
Yeah. I mean, he's Strength Hero, so that E-Blade actually does pretty good damage with the Flesh Heap. This is core item on Pudge now. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Look at Puppy, he's just stalking Hani. Does not want to leave him out of sight as Hani gonna get vendetted up. Hani gonna get himself hexed up. Here comes Flicked by Croaky. They're gonna apply Chain Frost. Hani gonna die, but he has well enough to buy back. But obviously, he doesn't really want to use it unless he has to. But now he's gonna make sure he has to, as Gyrocopter gonna rotate himself down to the middle lane. Without Hani, Fnatic can't really split push nearly as effectively as Zavos just gonna use his BKB randomly. I guess because he feels like it. I mean, that's a 40-second. No, he bought a new BKB.
Oh, that was a 10-second.
Oh my god. Wow. Misclick City. No other way to explain it other than misclick.
Yeah, and that's gonna come back to bite them, because this was like the one time when their lanes have been okay for a really long time, and now that he used the BKB, I don't think they can fight, so they're just gonna have to go back to dealing with split push. No, they're gonna try to fight anyway.
I mean,
I guess just because they have Aegis, right? Yeah, why not?
And also, Fnatic can't split push without Hani nearly as effectively, so they know their buildings are safe for now. Trixie's going to apply as much pressure as possible. Hani will have to buy back, and he does have more than enough gold to do just that, as Aegis is going to expire in about 3 minutes. You know, Trixie's still applying pressure. It looks like Fnatic, they obviously know they can't fight this with the Aegis gyrocopter. But
I don't know what they're gonna do.
this is so weird. As Trixie gonna try to go to work on the barracks on the top lane, and now he's just gonna rotate themselves down to the bottom lane. Weaver's gonna back very, very late after forcing a couple teleports by Trixie, and meanwhile, Era, he's in position. Looks like Trixie's gonna get isolated. He's gonna get himself hexed up. Chain Frost will be applied once again. Era gonna go in. He's trying to kill off Fnatic. Hani's gonna back, teleport himself in. Fnatic does pop the Ghost Scepter. He should be able to escape now. Pops the mechanism as well. He is gonna get picked off in the end. Denny gonna come in with the hook. Where is Havos? That is the real question. Just simply not fast enough to catch up to the retreating Fnatic, as Corgi will get the lift up onto Era. Era might be forced to back right here and right now. He's going to pop the rage. He's going to go back on the offensive. Does he have a TP? No, he used the boots to travel already. He has a Hex up as well. Good option. But still, Navi's slowly but surely going to catch up to him. Hook going to be used, but it's going to just barely lift. Hani going to go back on the offensive. Smart move. Going to try to force Navi to teleport themselves away to safety. Era going to pop the Abyss Blade. Does kill off Kuroki. Trying to man fight, but Havos, just look at the damage. Not even fair. Hex will be applied to Havos, but Era is going to die nonetheless. Era will have enough for back. Does he have enough for back? He does, and he will be able to get himself back into the fight. Meanwhile, Hani is simply not split pushing. I don't know why Hani's just not going in. Like, fuck backdoor regen, just try to hit the buildings.
Last time he did it, he died. I think he's worried. Like,
yeah, especially since he doesn't have
how much
buyback
stuff
anymore.
Navi has now. They can break his Lincolns with like a gazillion things. They got a Hex. Kuroki can lock him down. He can get on top of him with Blink. Same with Puppey. And if Pudge is anywhere in the neighborhood, like, he's just dead. So we're at 800 last hits. That's the thing that's happened.
I mean, I'm looking at the graphs. They don't mean anything. But, I mean, they're climbing back in favor of Navi slightly.
I mean, yeah, once you hit like 50 plus minutes, graphs mean nothing. All that matters is who's got the racks, where the lanes are, and like if you have a means of taking the racks or not. That's a third Rapier. That's a thing.
What is he going to drop? Butterfly?
Hey, Aegis is about to fall off.
Oh my god.
Oh, Nyx picked up an E-Blade. This is the first time I've ever actually seen this in a competitive game.
You mean Nyx, not Nyx.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant to say. Who thought that was a good idea? Anyway, Phonic got stuff. Like, everybody has stuff. Like, I don't know. I think Navi's got the upper hand right now.
They have to throw everything at Havos, but it's going to be so hard against the disabling power of Navi. I mean, Navi, they recognize that Havos is the one weak spot right now. I mean, he's also the strongest point, obviously, but the Rapier just flying overhead, it's going to deliver the courier. Hex is being picked up by Green and Pain, but it's still a 9-second BKB charge they have to go through.
Oh man, this is so tense. Like, I don't know how this fight's going to play out at all.
I mean, Era did respawn naturally, but can he actually get enough gold to buy back? He needs to get at least 1 or 2 kills in order to secure that gold. But Havos gonna go in, gonna chip away at the star. Trixie's gonna come in with the Hex, but the Havos, I think he still has the Aegis, does he? He does not any longer. Havos taking a lot of edge. He might actually die. Looks like Era is on the pursuit, gonna pop the Abyssal, but the E-Blade gonna be applied by Denny onto Havos. What a play! As, oh my god, defensive E-Blades being applied by Navi's teammates, gonna allow them to secure themselves a full team wipe. Wow, that was almost.
Pretty sure that's game.
That was almost a spectacular play by Fnatic, but the E-Blades, ladies and gentlemen, this is why E-Blade is the best time in the game.
Yeah, that was. Danny was just so quick with that E-Blade. Like, that was the reason they won the game. Completely just because he clicked his E-Blade on Havos. And I think Puppey did it too. He clicked it on him again. Wow. I don't know what to say. Like, ugh. I'm at a loss for words, B-Ballin.
I mean, the only thing I'm disappointed. Well, here comes the Kurt. It's going to come in with the third Rapier. Oh man, I really feel for Fnatic. I don't know if they could have played necessarily better in the late game. They did everything they could, but in the end, Gyrocopter.
I think some different item choices, and they got this.
Yeah, I think they went a bit too defensive.
How would they have known? But, like, you can't account for, like, oh, he's gonna pick up a Rapier, so we have to build this. Like, I guess at some level you do have to know that that's on the table, but no one expects that, you know.
I mean, Havos is dealing over 1k damage per right click.
To everything.
Yes. Fly gonna die in 3 shots. No crits. No anything.
Oh man, you know what this is? There was a Dota game In Dota 1, Chinese game, at like the height of the farming meta, that lasted 130 minutes. Do you, by off chance, know what one I'm referring to? There was a sniper in it. He had exactly Havos's item build, and he lost. He got out-carried by an invoker with a blink dagger.
I think I recall the game. I don't remember which teams, but oh my god. I mean, this gives me hope for Fnatic, at least for being a Fnatic fan, since they played pretty well for the most part. But Na'Vi just came out ahead. They had a really creative lineup, but in the end, the gyrocopter missiles. I mean, once you get to Rapier, those little flat cannon shots should just turn into freaking grenades or something, because
Nuclear frickin' bombs or something.
might as well. Why the hell not? But that's going to be the end of this game. Na'Vi going to take the series 2-0, and we'll see if the Chinese have an answer for this. I don't imagine they're going to let us build up this crazier build, but wow, what a game, everybody. Hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.